Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday to you. Let's see, we had quite an eventful after hours, it looks like. So we're going to have a sizable regular trading hour gap. Hello, Queen M.K. Gonzalez Muhammad and Gospel Trader. Good morning to you. Thanks for jumping in and leaving a comment here. All right, so it's not going to show yet. Regular trading hour gap is going to go from 415, which is about, okay, so basically it's going back to the new week open gap. It's going to drive us back down to 19,606 is where the regular trading hour gap is going to be. Between 19,606 and wherever we open up in 2 minutes. Well, appreciate you. Thank you. Oh, Sharks here too. Good morning. What's up? The opening bell. OM, we are bullish, but we have a sizable regular trading hour gap here. So price may want to trade through that first. Since this yellow area here, 755 down to 605. It's our regular trading hour gap since basically price opened up at 1800 and just started being bullish. Started moving to the upside. So I would say the regular trading hour gap is something we should pay attention to. We also have a few session lows that have not been traded to, the London low and the Asia low, down to 671 and 632. All right, let me just refresh my memory on the news today. Powell is coming to speak at 10. So that's our high impact news event for the day. But we do have the Jackson Hole Symposium, which is listed here as all day. Sorry, our all currency, but just day 2, so it doesn't have a time. We are close to being ready to cut rates 53 minutes ago. Fed chairman's. Okay. Apart from Jackson Hole, keep your eyes on U.S. home sales. Okay. New home sales also at 10, but it's a medium impact news event. Oh, TJ, what's going on? All right, Queen, before news, you're already good. Good job. Oh, man, sorry to hear about your father. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know, TJ. Something happened to my settings. I've been playing around with it all week, trying to get everything back in. It's just not there yet. But yeah, nothing happened to me personally. But yeah, something's going on with the mic and the way it's working. But good to have you back. Sorry, you're having some issues at home and you lost your father. Oh man, I can only imagine. Yeah, 66 is young, very young, to be passing suddenly. See, Robin. Oh, shoot. Wow, HC having a rough go at it as well. Sorry to hear that. Not even, not necessarily all day, but potentially for the short term, yes. We do have news coming in about 15 minutes, so I'm not going to do anything prior to that. I forgot that yesterday was a full moon. Well, actually, I didn't know if yesterday was a full moon. I didn't have you to remind me, so I completely missed it. I wonder what the connection is to bearish activity in full moon. closure here was exactly at the low, so it didn't close below. That's kicking Wednesday, Thursday, TJ. Okay, I see. So you look at the power three, Wednesday, Thursday would be your most likely yeah, manipulation probably on Tuesday. And then that would be your expansion there if we're going lower for the rest of the week, which means probably today as well. All right, let's see what happens between now and when Powell comes to speak. So the dollar had a new day opening gap. It just filled in. We're ready for the news now in 30 seconds. See what Powell has to say. Okay. All right, so we're still heavily bullish here. Let's see what it says. All right, new home sales much better than expected, and we have no idea what Powell is talking about. So came off the daily breaker here at 717. Put a wick down at 930, and off we went. Right, so it looks like yesterday was the manipulation on the power of 3 candle for the week. Got it for the lunch hive yesterday. It's gone. Point move in 2 minutes already. All right, so I guess that announcement an hour ago that we're getting ready for, or the economy is now finally ready for rate cuts, and it's sending the dollar lower now. See a big impulse from all 3 indices. Queen, for the 1 hour bullish breaker, which candles do you have? Prop. All the way back down. 90 handles. Oh, I'm sorry, Queen. I thought I had read that you said it rejected hard off of a 1 hour bullish breaker. I probably misread that. Sorry. Oh, yeah, just up above, you mentioned that it rejected hard out of a 1 hour bullish breaker. You were talking about the weekly profile. But don't worry about it. If there is no 1 hour bullish breaker, disregard my comment. Oh, okay. All right. No worries, Queen. Take a quick look at our comparison chart here. All right, so we can see to the far left, news event has sent the dollar reeling. We've already swept lows from, looks like yesterday's London session, as well as the Asia session from the day before. Next target would be the low Wednesday session low. Now, if we look at the three indices, starting with Dow, you can see the Dow is getting really close to sweeping highs from yesterday. S&P a little further away. The Dow is in any minute now is probably going to sweep that level. S&P is a little further away, and Nasdaq is not even close. Just look at this retracement to see how far Nasdaq's made it. Yeah, Nasdaq is just now passing 62% on the move up. So we just had let's see, do we have a touch? 41. Yep, we just crossed it on the Dow. All right, so let's see if all the indices follow suit. Looks like S&P is well on its way. As I mentioned, Nasdaq is taking its time. So at the moment, showing to be the weaker of the three. 100 up, 90 back down, and more than 100 back up. So here was the unicorn setup. I missed this one. Mm, yeah, based on the structure, it would have made sense to enter 778. And then from there, you could have decided how confident you were with the fair value gaps, whether you wanted to place your stop loss below there, or whether you wanted to place your stop below the breaker. way down, all the way back. And so far, 40 handles, maybe closer to 45. It did. Yep, came all the way back down. And that was when I was marking up the midnight at 8:30 open. I looked down and it had already retraced. Not sure if anyone jumped in. It was about a handle short of the breaker itself, but hopefully someone took that entry because it ran back up 50 handles. So it was 78 up to 836, almost 60. You're right, Johan. It is getting expensive for all the money we're borrowing. You feel here? day, still trying to take the previous day high. It's not too far away, but still got a little ways to go. It needs to get up to 56.65. It's currently trading at 56.56, and the highest it's made was around 56.62. So it came around 3 handles from taking the previous day high. We'll see if it continues bullish and makes it up there. We haven't made too much more progress, as you can see here, over the last 25-30 minutes on Nasdaq. Just been pretty much trading through the previous candle's high and maybe eclipsing it by a bit. We need to get up to 20,025. So another 150 handles up if we're going to take the previous day high. You talking about this bullish breaker here? This bullish breaker? No, it was not. Well, let me take that back. It was. It was. And I only say that because of this blue line we have right here. I marked up as this is the daily bullish breaker. It's the upper limit of it at 19,717. And so we had a tap down into it during the 9:30. So we had the opening bell. It pushed lower into the daily breaker. And then from there, it found support over the next couple candles, pushed out. And then we had at 10, we had a news event. So Powell started speaking. Price sprinted through the area, closed above, which then validated the 5-minute breaker. Following candle traded back down. It was scary because it was a 90-point drop, but it dropped right into the breaker at the fair value gap. You'll see at the fair value gap here, as well as the we call it the inverse. Let me do this properly. There we go. Tap right down to the inverse as well as the fair value gap, and then out it went. And 2 candles later, we got another trade back down, and it rejected as well. So it was at a point of interest, and that point of interest was the daily breaker. This is the one, I'm not sure if you were on a couple days ago. I'll go back to this one here. A couple days ago, I pulled up daily calendar, and I think it was Monday, because I remember saying, okay, we just confirmed it. So for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be looking bullish, and it's going to be coming out of this breaker. So at some point, we're going to retrace back in, but we hadn't at that point. We did retrace back in yesterday. But the bullish breaker is on the daily calendar. It's the July 31st candle. And you can extend it up to the wick of August 1st. And so the confirmation came on Monday. The daily candle, we traded above, closed higher. That confirmed it. And the rest of the week, well, the next couple of days, we just traded sideways. And then yesterday, we lost the level we had, traded into the breaker. And then since we reopened at 1800 yesterday, if you check price, you'll see we've just been creeping up higher and higher and higher until the opening bell. We closed above it. So that was high time frame point of interest for that breaker block. So for this morning, you found 5 minute right here at where the daily breaker is, where you expect bullish movement. Not me, Ray. I have not taken an entry today. Earlier, I expected a deeper retracement back into the breaker, and we didn't get that. And then the news showed up, so I have not taken an entry today. Mohammed, yes, you can look and see if you have one. You had a 30-second bearish. Yeah, Mohammed, the 1 minute bearish break is right here. So what you want to look at is, and if you're expecting bearish activity, find the most recent swing high, which was over here. That was taken out. So this high was traded above right here at 1028. So this will be your most recent swing high. That was the liquidity that was taken. So then you want to find your down close candle be prior to that, which would be here. So you want a candle that made a swing low. So we have this low, this is a lower low, and this is a higher low. So this would be a swing low here. So your most recent swing low prior to liquidity being taken. So I would use this candle at 1025. We had a trade below and close below at 1030, trade back in, and now so far it's delivered about 60 handles, roughly 58. Yep, so 60 handles out of that. Nope, it's not inside of it. No, it's not inside. But you have areas where you expect it to turn around. So you look for it, and when you find it in an area, then that's when you take the trade. All right, just like down here, the 5 minute fair value, 5 minute breaker was up here, and the bullish breaker was down here at 717. But then your breaker that you would have taken on the 5 minute would have been at 777, so 60 handles higher than the daily breaker down here. So during the weekend when you're in your back testing session, just look into those things. It'll make more sense for you the more practice you get. Yeah, congratulations, Queen. Not even 11 o'clock, you're already done. So hope you have a good weekend if you're done for the day. You said before it taps into the fair value gap. Why would you say before it taps into it? You have this hourly fair value gap here. All right, remember we're looking at the 5 minute and the 1 minute candles here, but this fair value gap is for the hour. Oh, Queen, I would definitely take some time off. Don't if you pop in and say hello, or I'm sorry, if you pop in, I I wish that you would not, and just take your time. Don't think about trading. Don't think about us. Um, I mean, I know how bad that sounds to say don't think about us, but I'm just thinking about you and really recharging the batteries and being able to be in the moment on your vacation. So yeah, try not to think about us at all. As much as I like people to hit the thumbs up button on the video, it's not that serious, especially when you're on vacation. So if you drop in, I mean, we would appreciate saying hello to you. But if we don't hear from you, completely understand, and I hope you have a good time. And go all the way back down. All right, opening values again. See if it holds this time. Already delivered once on a market execution, and then a second time on a retracement, and then a third time on a retracement. Let me see. There was a 1 minute, and this was here. Wanted to show. Let me look and see if there's a 3 or a 5 minute. Nope. The 3 minutes is essentially going to be this cluster here. So you end up having a large area here, and so it hasn't returned back. All right, so we're pushing much lower. We're getting into that area I thought we would get into earlier. So if you are familiar with regular trading hour gap, that is where we are currently trading. And that's the gap between 4:15 and 9:30 in the morning. So at 4:15 yesterday, we closed around 6:10. We opened at 9:30 around 7:15. So it's about a 100-point gap. We're now in that gap. Let me highlight it here. Oops. All right, maybe that's not a good color. All right, so it's this purple color. That's the regular trading hour gap. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. 200 handles in not much time at all, about 20 minutes. 2,300 on August 1st. Give me 1 second, Robin. Hey, Robin, are you speaking about 2,300 from July 31st? Drop time frames. We have it looks like we've traded about 80% into the regular trading hour gap here. So what I'm going to do is go back to electronic trading hours. I'm going to get rid of this. We're pretty much traded through it already. All right, and that's the opening range gap low being traded through. So keep that in mind. Opening gap range low. I'm sorry, opening range low. It's been traded through in 5 minute and closed below. That generally controls the direction of the market for the remainder of the day, or at least as far as highs and lows are concerned. So we have a pretty reasonable expectation that 905 is going to be high for some time this morning or heading into the afternoon. Now, it may not survive all day, but we should have a bearish moment for the time being. Oh, yep, Vicas, absolutely. Yep. So one thing I like to do, because is on my indicator here, is it has, where is it? Yeah, I wait for candle to close to identify fair value gap. So it also waits for the closure before it takes it away. Some indicators, depending on how you set this parameter, it'll disappear as soon as you trade above it. If it's a bearish fair value gap, or as soon as you trade below it, if it's bullish. But before the candle closes, it can actually return back into the range and not invalidate the candle. So I make sure that this is checked. So it waits until the very end of the hour, and then it evaluates whether we have a valid or invalid fair value gap. Please look at that hourly candle on ES. All right, so ES never was able to take that previous day high, never really made much more progress. And of course, on Nasdaq, once we made that high at the news event, we just tiptoed a little bit further, but we didn't really push the envelope much. So we never even got close to taking the previous day high. Let's get rid of, we traded through London low. We traded through the Asia low. I think this was Muhammad who asked yesterday, what's the significance of the London low, Asia low, and all those other session items. Um, and I mentioned that it's going to be either target setting when price is moving in that direction, or once that level has been taken, it's a liquidity point. You then look to see if price wants to react there. And so we're getting both. We got the bearish movement from the top hand, and it started moving lower. We can see where the target was. It was all these lows that were still open. You had the London low, you had the New York low, and you had the Asia low that hadn't been traded to. It traded to the last one, and now we see price turn around. See if it wants to close above this level here, and then we get a 1 minute bullish breaker on top of the 5 minute. All right, it looks pretty safe here. This break is validated. The unicorn. $14 is a bearish breaker. This high is at 896.75. This high is 896.25. This next candle here was 2 ticks short of taking the high. So if you use this as your bearish breaker, no, I wouldn't use that as the bearish breaker. I would not. Yep. Use the same one that I gave you, Muhammad, the 1025 candle. This is the one you want to use. Because for a bearish breaker, just think about the way it's drawn out. You want a high to a low. Then you want this high to be eclipsed. You want it to trade higher. And then you want this low to be eclipsed. So you want it to trade lower. Then you want to take your entry with trades back inside. Oops. Take your entry when it trades back inside and take it lower. But the important part is you need this high to be traded above. And so that's what this candle failed to do. It did not trade above. Back into the 1 minute bullish setup here. Because you say, can you show the 5 minute breaker? I mean, this 5 minute breaker here, you don't see where it's coming from. All right, see if I can show you. All right, yesterday at 1500, that candle. All right, so we have a low, high, lower low, and then you just wait for it to trade higher and close above, which it did over here. All right, catch that, Vikas. So 1500 yesterday. All right, 30 handles so far. We'll see if it delivers more than that, but 30 handles is a win. Because did you catch that when I showed you what you were asking for? I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab my last cup of coffee here, so give me a couple minutes. 43 handles delivered so far. It's just market structure, because so when price was trading lower, create a swing low here, broke lower. Generally what you find is when price does that, it'll come back and retest this level before going lower. But it broke lower and it just continued. So now price needs to balance itself and it'll buy back up into this area. Now it doesn't have to do it right now, but I'm anticipating it doing so. And the reason why I'm anticipating that happening is because it built a 1 minute bullish breaker on top of another bullish breaker. So I'm hoping that price wants to go higher here. So the macro is over. All right, so we just tapped into an hourly fair value gap here. But yeah, this is why you hear me preaching a lot of times about taking 20 to 30 handles on a trade. It's because the further away the target is, the more likely you're going to get a retracement and the longer it's going to take. All right, so we tapped into the fair value gap down here at around 19,665 as well as the midnight open. Now we've rejected about 40 handles from there. 50 handles out of the breaker. $60. Oh yeah, good point, Ray. That is exactly what you want to see. Speed is usually what we don't get, but you're always looking for it. You feel much better when you get it. Right through the center of that. Let's see if we can now continue to stay on the other side of this equilibrium or consequent encroachment of the city. Push right out the other side would be nice. All right, 20 handles to go. 80 delivered so far. I appreciate it, Miss Healthy. All right, 90 delivered. 10 more. No, it was off the 1 minute breaker. Yeah, it's the 1 minute breaker from the 1049, 1050 candles. Seven or eight handles. It's close enough. There we go. All right, done. 100 handles. see. I hope I pronounced that right. This is a breaker block model. More specifically, the unicorn model. That term is from ICT. So I don't know if you're familiar with ICT, but I learned a breaker block setup from him, and he mentioned if there's a fair value gap inside of the breaker, then it's a unicorn. So we have 1 minute breaker, and then this is the fair value gap that made it a unicorn setup. Now we already had a 5 minute breaker here that price had traded into earlier. Well, yesterday. This is a breaker from yesterday. And so I just wanted to make sure that it was going to support price once again. And so that's when the 1 minute support created itself on top of the 5 minute. It's the one used for this entry here. And now price has reached this level. We'll see if it turns around here. Go ahead and move this out of the way. Oh, appreciate you, Kendrick. Thank you. Oh, it's also 75% retracement. Okay. All right, we'll see if price continues to push higher. Oops. Actually, we don't need this anymore either. Why the SIBI didn't work? You mean the 5 minute? Why these 5 minute SIBIs did? I'm sorry, this is the 1 minute. The one that I drew before was this one. You're saying why didn't this 5 minute SIBI work? Yep, you're right, Queen. So I knew we would probably trade back into the range, but yes, I'm not expecting the opening range high to be traded above, and that's 19,904. So we can come back and balance the price here before moving lower, or just trading in the range for the rest of the day. So let's not rule that out. This is Friday, and we've had a pretty volatile morning where price has not really chosen a side. In fact, if you look at the daily, it looks primed and ready for a consolidation period. Especially since we confirmed a break block that's like 700 or 800 handles wide. So because of that, we'll probably trade in this range for a little bit. We had, what, 9-10 consecutive bullish days. So there's some inefficiencies there as well. And so if the question from you is, why didn't the cities work? Well, it's on the 5 minute. And the city would have worked as long as we didn't get this bullish breaker here. When this breaker created itself, we had reasonable expectation that price was going higher. And the only way to go higher was to trade through the city. Right? So if there's no breaker down here, you may have gotten a couple candles to start pushing higher. It would have reached some resistance somewhere at the 830 open or something else, and then you would have saw price fall. But it created a breaker, which in a way creates support for price. And as I mentioned before, we were looking at price structure here on the 1 minute. And on this breakdown, these 5 consecutive candles, You had a swing low broken. And that swing low broken. Also, market structure right here was broken. So we broke market structure as well. Price will always want to come back and retest the market structure level. And in this case, it traded up to the rebalancing level. That's why I had selected 78.5, but we could have easily selected 71. As a matter of fact, when it hit where market structure was broken, it sold. It traded up there a little bit past the candle body on it, and it gave a couple minutes right at this level. Look for shorts. Man, I tell you, you guys are greedy. Got to be content with enough. Let's see. Now that we've taken, well, not really taken liquidity here, but we've come back to retest where market structure has shifted here to the downside. We've also come back and rebalanced market structure. So now you can look to see if price wants to turn around here. And so we'll stay here on the 1 minute and see if we see something. It'll be easier to locate here. But for confirmation, obviously you'd like it to be on a higher time frame, but for this purpose, the 1 minute is fine. So what I want to do is look and see if I have a bearish breaker somewhere. I know we have this one here from earlier that sent price about 300, about 250 handles lower. So this is a bearish breaker. Let me go ahead and draw up that unicorn setup. See, price traded right back into the fair value gap and down it went. All right, so we already have one area that we know sent price lower. We also have a 1 hour bearish fair value gap here that we know is going to want to hold price. So while we're looking for a bearish setup anywhere between here and up here, we're really anticipating making it here. All right, so it looks like it's going to push lower. It did not make a setup here on the 1 minute, so maybe it made it on a lower time frame. And it did here on the 32nd. All right, we got our high and we got our low. We got a break to the upside, and then we got a break to the downside. No closure here, so still trading. It also didn't make a new high, so this whole price leg here doesn't mean anything. Here's your closure. So let's see if you get a trade back in, and then down it goes. Further. quick 25 pointer from here, going from 767, 741. Let's see if we can get that 25 handles there. Get that breakout in price or not? It could be in a crosshairs, Sadie. What I find about equal highs, when you get a rejection and the equal highs aren't taken, price usually goes the other direction, looks for a fair value gap, and then it'll come back. So we may see that equal highs taken now. The price is straight lower and hit this fair value gap. So we'll see. But for sure, it could be a target in the near future. All right, we got the candle bodies staying below the consequent encroachment here. So that's a good sign. not had a closure out below the breakers since we had the confirmation. So we're still looking to at least have one candle close below. Finally, a wick. Let's see if there's a little weight behind that. Still early in the candle. It's too early. Higher. Right, just another pickup. So hopefully everyone just saw that. This is what happens when you're greedy. The market has the ability to humble you quickly. Got to be content with enough. We just exited out of a winning setup here. Immediately, the next question was, okay, now can we look for a short? So yeah, yep, gotta be content with enough and not always in search for setups, especially after the market has delivered so much as it has this morning. Let's go to 5 minutes here. Take this and this one. Oh, okay. I appreciate it. Yeah, I saw one of the other ministers had mentioned that we have rebounded nicely out of the inflationary era, and so rate cuts should be expected soon. Here, 6 minutes. We have the next macro. I'll be right back. think the break that we had was should have been here. So the closure above here, which invalidated the breaker. Ended up trading back down, revalidating it once again, trading back in, and then deliver. I think I had 25 handles to here. $67 down to 41, and it delivered, but not until it stopped everyone out. So it happens. Not every trade is a winner. Every trade is a winner, and as I said, market will humble you if you take every setup you see. So we're in our final macro before lunch. Any final questions or comments, make sure they're in the chat so we can talk about them before we get off. We got about 10 minutes before our session ends this morning. Just take a final look at where we are on the hourly. All right, so to the far left, we can see the dollar has been extremely bearish the last 2 hours. We're getting a slight pullback now as we close out this hour. And we're seeing very similar action on the indices for the last 2 hours. But interesting enough, the last hour was bearish on Nasdaq, 10 o'clock hour. It was bullish on both the Dow and on S&P. S&P was slightly bullish, but the Dow was heavily bullish. And then we see, even now, we may end up with a bearish candle this hour as well. But lots of wicks, not big candle bodies like we saw yesterday. So just keep that in mind as we go into trading for the lunch and into the afternoon. That we are getting expansion, but that expansion comes also with contraction. Yes, I'll be back at 1300, so I'll take about an hour break and I'll come back. All right, Queen, appreciate you. Yes, have a great week next week. Try not to think about us at all. Definitely try not to log in unless you absolutely have to and you just have some downtime. But I hope you have a great time, and then we'll catch you the week after next. Okay, so next Friday is August 30th. All right, Queen, so when you're back, it's the first week of September. So is that Monday, Labor Day, the 3rd? Or the 2nd? Yeah, so we might be out. We may not be trading that Monday, September 2nd. I think that's Labor Day. So, Queen, I guess we'll see you on the 3rd. So you have vacation and then you have a long weekend. Perfectly planned. Yeah, we also we have NFP, which I have to pay attention to that week. on a short week. So yeah. Kurt, yeah, not sure I would say it's hard. But just like anything else, man, you wanna do your back testing the way that you're gonna actually trade. And the problem, at least my problem in the beginning, was I learned a lot of my trading strategies and how I read the market and all of that from ICT. And if you watch ICT trade, well, he takes the low and high end of the range a lot of times. Like, and he'll let price come all the way back on him, and he'll continue to believe that it's going where it's going. He won't shift his stop loss. All of those things that plague young traders. And so for me, I had to stop looking for home runs. I had to get into the base hit game, and that completely changed my trading. So I wouldn't say today has been hard, but you definitely want to have some local targets, something less than 50 handles to where you're entering. Right. And in that case, we've had plenty of movement today. Like, we've had lots of candles that have moved 30, 40 handles in a couple minutes. Right. These are big candles that you're looking at. So today was the day you were looking for. You just have to be careful with your entries. Best entry of the day was this 1 minute bearish breaker right around 10:30. But also here on the 5 minute, you had a 5 minute bullish breaker. So you could have entered at 10:06. You could have entered at 10:17. You could have market execution at 10 o'clock at the news event. So that was 1, 2, 3 entries here on the bearish side. We have one trade back at 10:33, another one at 10:34, and price was gone. Then down here on the bullish side, we had another breaker on the 1 minute form on top of a 5 minute, right on top of the midnight open, the 1 hour bullish fair value gap. So lots of items here to push price higher. You had an entry at 11, 11:01, 11:03, back again. And that's if you just wanted 40 handles. Came back again at 10, 11, 12, 13, 11 up to 11:13, and then price was gone for 100 handles. So those were the entries today. Up from here, down from there, back up to here, and look, we're practically back in the same position we started in, right here around 765. It's funny how price does that. Yep, I can't stress that enough, Queen. And I know that's one of the hardest things to do as well, especially when you spend so much time on the chart, live trading, or on tutorials, watching others. It's hard to then allocate even more time towards back testing. But honestly, the most learning comes from back testing. So if you can't allocate enough time to back testing, then find another area in your trading that you can cut out. And that can be not attending a live stream here as often. Maybe dropping out an hour before the end and spending that 1 hour back testing. It could also mean, if you feel like you have enough lessons learned that you can start trading and you're good to go now, you just need to practice more, stop watching tutorials and just really focus on back testing part. First, make sure you can identify setups. And once you can clearly identify the bullish and bearish breakers when they form, then go into, okay, where do I need to place my stop loss? Where do I need to place my TP? How do I win these trades 80% of the time? And you figure those two things out. You figure out how the time frames work together, how the dollar and the indices play off of each other. And then from there, it's just execution, whether you can pull the trigger and feel confident in your entry, and then wait it out for your TV to be hit. Jesus Christ. Inefficiencies and moving averages. Yeah, whatever works for you. So if you like inefficiencies and moving averages, then that means you just practice that until every time you look at a moving average with a fair value gap, and you can pair those up for an entry. You just get good at that, because one thing I've noticed is that nearly every strategy, the reason why they've been around so long and so many people are talking about them, is because they all work. You just have to master the one that you like. So find one that speaks to you, one that motivates you to get up and get on the charts every day, and then master how to use it. Couldn't have said it better myself, Queen. That last statement you just made. Make sure you understand the draw on liquidity, where a price is going. So therefore, if you have a breaker that forms prior to news and it hasn't been retraced to, news will likely retrace into that breaker and then take off. So you can feel comfortable taking the trade and know where to place your stop loss. And likewise, if it traded to the breaker just before news, then you can have pretty good confidence that it's not trading back down there. And if it does, it's only trading back down there for more entries. But price is definitely going in the direction of the breaker. Caught that short for 50 handles. All right, M, good job. Sweet. Sandy, myself and other subscribers have been calling out the breakers and trades the entire session this morning. So I know you just joined, and I just did a recap on the different entries today. So just rewind just a couple minutes. I just did a recap on the 3 different breakers that sent prices different locations today, when they occurred, when entries were. All right, everyone. I'll talk to you guys in about an hour. It is lunchtime. So I'll end the feed here, and I'll set out an invitation for after lunch. All right. See you then. Take care, everyone.